You know that place you're in right now. Maybe you've got this dream tucked into your heart. Maybe you keep telling yourself you'll figure a way. But the bills pile up. The confidence wavers. And that voice in your head whispers that real freedom, real abundance, might forever feel out of reach. I hear that worry. I feel how heavy it can get. I feel it too sometimes. You are not alone. You are simply standing at the beginning of something true. This is where From Zero to Millionaire by Nicolas Berube steps in as a friend. And I promise, I'm not going to greet you with flashy millionaire jargon. I'm going to talk to you gently about what matters, what this book actually wants for you. It wants you to feel seen and to believe that wealth, real wealth, is about much more than money. Here's the heart of it. Nicolas says that true richness starts with meaning, that millionaires are not just folks rolling in cash. They are people who found something worth building, something that lit them up, something they refused to let go of even when things got hard. That spark is where everything begins. Let's walk through those plain ideas together. First, there is clarity. You need clarity about where you want to go. Not just a vague wish to be rich, but a clear, gentle picture of what rich means for you. A life where you feel safe, yes. A life where you feel free to express yourself. A life where you wake up and feel quiet excitement. It is not about fancy cars or designer labels. It is about a life that feels right, that looks like breathing easy, that feels like peace with purpose. Nicolas invites you to sit with that picture as if it's already happening, to feel it, to see yourself walking that life. Let that picture become a warm friend. Then there is purpose, the kind that grows from that picture. It's not about choosing a business idea first. It is about knowing your values, about knowing what lights you up. Maybe it is creative connection. Maybe it is helping other people breathe easier too. It might be little. It could be quiet. But it must feel like something you would do even if no one paid you. That's the purpose. And that's what will carry you through the slow days and the messy days. Then the book gently guides you into action. But not action that feels overwhelming. Simple, human actions. One kind conversation. One tiny idea sketched out on a napkin. One step you would not mind repeating tomorrow. Momentum starts that way. Momentum is not bigness. It is consistency. It is showing up every day with the kind of curiosity that says, what if I try this just for me, just because it lights me up, and don't expect it all to fall into place. You will bump into walls. You will wonder what you were doing. It is okay to pause. It is okay to ask for help. Nicolas talks about asking the quiet question, what would feel like a next right step? It might not fix everything, but it keeps you moving toward what matters. Let's breathe here. If this feels like a quiet conversation that is holding you well, if you're leaning in with your heart. By the way, if you are enjoying this so far, just tap that like button. And hey, tell me in the comments where in the world you are watching from. I'd love to know. Thank you for leaning in with me. Now there's another idea Nicolas shares, the idea of mindset. Not some pep talk, but a mindset rooted in learning. He reminds us that every person who reaches what they call million is just someone who got curious, who read a little, who asked a friend, who tried something small and learned. That kind of mindset leans into curiosity instead of fear. When you feel stuck, you don't have to shout yourself into confidence. You can whisper a question. What do I want to learn today? It might be reading a short article, or borrowing a friend's book, or watching a video. Let learning become a cozy habit. Because when you lean into learning, you grow confidence, one soft question at a time. Then there is the money side. Money is the fuel, but it is not the meaning. You don't need to make a million. You need to understand what money does for you. You treat it lovingly. You learn how to attract it. You learn to save gently. You learn not to fear budgeting. You learn to gift some to yourself. Sometimes that's a small treat. Sometimes it's an investment back into your dream. Money becomes your helper, not your master. One step at a time, you bring clarity to your income and expenses. You notice where your money flows. You make it move toward your dream. The habits are simple. You track where things go. You decide what matters. And you choose where each rupee supports your picture of rich. And slowly, that picture begins to breathe. Then the book turns to building assets. That can sound scary. But Nicolas says, start small. Perhaps you create something. Maybe a helpful note, a piece of art, a service people need. You put it out there. You listen, and then you adjust. You refine. You show up again. Over time, that asset grows in value. Because every time you show up genuinely, you build trust. You build something that matters. I know that can feel fragile. But here is the beauty. You are not building alone. As you show up, kind people appear. People who want what you are offering. People who say yes. People who share your creation. It might be one person, one day, another person another day, and you breathe. You keep showing up because success is not immediate. It is the accumulation of small yeses. Let me slow down with you for a moment, because there is something tender here. Nicolas reminds us that dreams can feel heavy on days when the world seems to whisper you cannot, on days when your courage feels small, on days when money feels far away. On those days, you don't have to push harder. You need to be kinder. You need to remind yourself that what you are doing matters, that each small act of courage matters, that each whisper of belief you say to yourself is a jewel in the making. So you learn to treat your dream like a child you love. You cradle it. You speak gently. You give it space. You sigh when it sighs. You softly encourage it. That way it grows not from force, but from care. Then there is community. Nicolas reminds us that no one becomes a million alone. We become stronger when we connect. You reach out. You share your hopes with someone you trust. You listen to another's hope. You share ideas. You ask questions. You hold space. Real connection becomes a soft engine for growth. It nurtures momentum more than you think. The book also talks about generosity. Generosity is not something you wait for abundance to give. You give your kindness now. You offer your help. You share joy. Maybe you write a kind note. Maybe you help someone with a small task. Maybe you share a resource. Generosity opens doors. It builds resonance. It draws people toward you. Then, step by step, your life begins shifting. You begin creating value. You begin collecting small wins. You begin weaving a life that feels alive. It might not feel flashy. It might not feel immediate, but it feels true. And that is what matters. Do you feel that? A quiet warmth? A kind rhythm? Like someone sitting across from you saying you are doing something important. You are slowly building a path. You are gathering courage. You are uncovering a life that feels like home. I'm reaching toward the end of our quiet journey here. Let me fold what we've walked through into a soft summary. This is not a lecture. It's a gentle palette of ideas you can carry home. One there is clarity. Be clear about what richness feels like for you. Make a picture. Feel it. 2 there is purpose. Connect with something that lights you up, something you would do just because. 3 there is action. Small human steps, questions, conversations, sketches, every day. 4 there is learning, curiosity over fear. Whisper to yourself what you'd like to know next. 5 there is money as a resource. Learn to handle it with care. Let it support your dream. 6 there is asset building, gentle creative acts. Offer something. Refine. Show up. 7 there is softness. Treat your dream kindly. Breathe when things feel heavy. 8 there is connection. You don't do this alone. Build relationships. Share. Listen. 9 there is generosity. Give what you can. Spread light. And through these 9 gentle ways, your life begins shifting. You go from zero. You go from wondering. You go from fear. to a place where those small, consistent steps lead into real wealth, not just in rupees or dollars, but wealth in trust, in purpose, in freedom, in joy. This is the heart of From Zero to Millionaire. It is not a get rich quick. It is a get human. It is a guide that feels like a friend nudging you toward your full life, rich in meaning, rich in devotion, rich in the quiet courage of your own becoming. So, dear friend, as we gently close this chapter, stand for a moment, breathe, feel your heart, know that you are seen, that your longing is honored, that your steps, even the smallest ones, are stirring the world. Thank you for letting me sit with you, for letting this conversation feel alive, for being curious, for being kind to yourself. You are not starting from nothing. You are starting from your own longing. That is enough. That is everything.